Welcome to Hexter 4, Week 3, Chemistry. Hopefully you've been keeping up with Weeks 1 and 2 assignments. I've tried to keep them relatively straightforward and a fair amount of work to do for a week. Here's what we have going on Week 3. So, first thing, there is a reading on molecules. Okay, so do that quick reading. All right, then after you're done with the reading, there'll be a molecules quiz. You just hit the link right here, okay? And there'll be a computer-graded quiz. Then, the next assignment, just hit the Bohr diagram worksheet. I'm going to open up the assignment right now. And here it is opening. And I'm going to click on this that says, well, first let's read the instructions. There is a PowerPoint you're going to be watching. And after you watch that, there's a couple of worksheets to do. So it says watch the PowerPoint, then pick two elements from the first three rows of the periodic table and draw a Bohr diagram of the element. You can take a photo of your drawings and upload them to me. Keep in mind the first shell can hold 2 electrons, the second shell can hold 8 electrons, the third shell can hold 18 electrons, and that's as far as you'll need to go. But your fourth shell can hold 32, just for your information. Once you do 2 practice elements from the periodic table, then do the Google Drive assignment. You just need to pick 10 of the elements from the worksheet. So let's open this assignment. Just click on it. And I have a reminder of how many electrons can go in each shell. Do not count this little first circle as a shell to put electrons in, as they did in the slide share. That's the nucleus. Count the shell that's actually outside of the nucleus. So let's say that you wanted to do, well, here, pick 10 of the elements. You don't have to do all of these, okay? Pick 10 of the elements and draw the electron shell. Refer to ptable.com, or there's a table in week 1 that will help you with the assignment. So just pick 10 of these. That's all you got to do. So you choose, okay? Let's say that you had picked, I'm going to jump through a couple of tabs here, so bear with me. Let's say that you had picked, here's ptable.com, sodium. So let's find sodium on ptable.com. It's in period or row 3. This is that interactive periodic table. It's really neat. So if you hover over sodium, it enlarges right here. Okay, sorry, right here. Right, or you can just double click on the sodium and get more information about it. But if you hover over sodium, it'll tell you the atomic number, which is 11. Okay, and so what you'll need to do is, that means there's the atomic number is 11 and the number of protons is 11. And protons and electrons, for our purposes, are going to be all neutral, so the protons and electrons will be the same. There's instances when they're different, but we're not worrying about that right now. So sodium, let's say you picked sodium. In sodium, it shows you, if you notice in the enlarged sodium, once I hover over it here, okay, then it tells you in the top right corner, if you look at the larger sodium element that's highlighted, it says 281. That's the electron shells. It actually tells you how many you need to draw in each electron shell. So for sodium, again, 11. There we go. So 281, it tells you the orbitals, how many electrons to put in each orbital. 2 in the first, 8 in the second, and 1 in the third. Do atoms really look exactly like this? No. This is an idea to give you an approximation of what atoms look like when they separate protons, electrons, and neutrons. Let's go over here. Here's the here is the Bohr diagram for sodium. If you notice, here's the first circle. It just tells you the number of protons, which is 11. Neutrons, we don't need to worry about that right now. 11 protons. And then in the first shell, that means you're going to draw 2. So you have 1, 2. And then you just draw them in an equal pattern. In the second shell, 2, 4, 6, 8. The second shell can hold up to 8. So between the 2 and the 8, you've now got 10. So we need to put one more electron in the third shell. And just you can start right up at 12 o'clock position right here. So again, this is the Bohr diagram for sodium. If you want to go ahead and pick that one as one of the ones you pick, feel free to do so. This is all, like I say, ptable.com. That's a great resource to use when you're doing your homework, your assignments, I should say. Let's look at this is the assignment again, okay? Pick 10 of these and do the electron configuration just like we did with the sodium, okay? So just keep in mind, and I put right on the, I might give you several reminders, 2 electrons in the first shell, up to 8 in the second. So you might not always fill the second one or the third one. And just as in the third one here, you didn't fill it. You had 10, you need 11 because it's 11 protons. So there's protons and electrons they're the same in a balanced atom. So we have 1 more in the third shell. So 2 plus the 8 in the second plus this one equals 11. That gives us our 11 electrons. There's 11 protons, so there's 11 electrons. Hopefully you can get this done. I think once you start doing 1 or 2 of them, it'll be pretty straightforward. As you can see, there's numerous images you can search up on Google for Google Images to find out how to do this. So feel free to use that as a web resource. Okay, let's go. I think that's about all we needed. Here's what the slide share looks like, how to draw Bohr diagrams. And that is included in your assignment. You just click through the sides. It gives a little bit about atomic structure. Okay, nucleus, neutrons, protons, electrons. And then it tells you how many each shell, how many electrons that each shell can hold. Electrons in the outermost shell are called valence electrons. So, for example, in sodium, the electron that was all by itself there, that's called a valence electron. All right. So then let's just keep going through this. Okay. Here's carbon. Okay, this is going to show you elements in the first period have 1 energy level. Elements in the second period have 2 energy levels. Let's go back here. Carbon, it shows you atomic number 6. This is how many electrons you will draw. Okay, number of electrons is the same as the atomic number, just as it is with protons. Let's go. Here's carbon. So it says draw a nucleus with the element symbol. Carbon is in the second period, so it has 2 energy levels or shells. Okay, so we've drawn the 2 shells. The first shell, as we know, can only hold 2. So there they are. So I bet if you are on top of this already, you can figure out how many are going to be in this second shell. If it has 6 electrons, there's 2 in the first shell, how many electrons will be in the next shell? Let's go to the next slide, and we see that there are 4 electrons in the second shell to give us our 6 electrons. All right, check your work. You should have a total of 6 electrons for carbon. So I think if you use the resources that are in the course, you'll be fine in doing these assignments. If you notice, let's go back to week 3. Okay. If you notice, there is the first assignment, the lesson with the quiz on molecules. Sorry about this blank space here, and then there's the Bohr diagram worksheets. That's it for the week, and it is Monday's a holiday, so it is 4 days. However, catch up on your past assignments. Very important. I will be sending each of you a message that this week, the third week, is the week I start putting zeros in the grade book. So even though you might think you're doing 80% or 90% work, whatever it says in the grade book right now, once I start adding zeros for things you didn't do in the first 2 weeks, your grade will show that zero. So it'll drop. However, don't get discouraged by that. You have all 6 weeks to get the assignments done. Main thing is keep working on assignments. If you want to knock out week 3 first, our couple of assignments here, then go back and do your week 1 and week 2 missing assignments. Feel free to do that. I can't stress enough how much you need to get the missing assignments in. There you go. Let's call it a day. Have a great week.